What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show. This is going to be a short episode. I'm not feeling the best today. Last night, within a 5-minute window, I was overcome with chills and a fever and body aches, which, needless to say, I will probably make this a short episode to benefit me as much as I'm sure you would appreciate a shorter episode every now and then. Since my brain is barely functioning and I couldn't draw inspiration from many other things, what I came here to talk about, what I came here to live out is this idea of showing up anyway. Today, despite how I felt overnight, I used the bit of energy I had left to contribute to my duties and to my goals. Between bouts of needing to lie down, I am human. I went to the gym. I did my laundry. I have work to do. I'm here to record this podcast. I say all this because the one thing I admire more than any other quality, and I don't always possess it. I fail at this in so many being able to live it out. I will celebrate it in the small chance that I get like this. Because we are so state dependent and we are so feeling dependent as humans. The number one quality that I admire most, and probably what I've heard many people refer to as the foundational piece to success, and that's showing up when you don't feel like it. Even when your body and your mind get in the way or circumstances aren't the best. I am using my small example here, but the greats, Tony Robbins, for example, has done grueling day-long seminars with a brain tumor. And many other people who I personally would attribute their success to this ability of being able to power through anything. And part of it is using the mind and willpower. Part of it is just commitment and not even questioning it. And there's also a part of it that I think is just so beautiful. And that's the willingness to just show up for yourself. The knowing inside that it serves you more than the temporary passing of emotional or physical discomfort. And then actually showing up to serve yourself in that way. And despite how difficult it might be in the current moment to fight through it, you still show up. And this usually happens when you've set your life up properly. And it's a good indication to know that you are being pulled by something as opposed to having to push through every time. Because you feel like you owe yourself the things that are greater than you. And you show up to play your part in them, regardless of how you feel. And part of it is just so beautiful. For me, at least, for my workouts and my work in general, I've done them through high fevers, intoxication, no sleep, vomiting, pain, and every physical challenge that can come up. And I've done my work despite all mental and emotional resistance. And not just to go through the motions either. I mean to do great work. On some of my worst health days, I've had some of my strongest workouts, personal bests, personal records. I don't just show up and say, oh, I'll just do whatever I can today. I mean, maybe I wouldn't advise any of this. I'm not a health practitioner. Maybe take it easy on that day. I'm just a philosophical guy who thinks that his mind can steam through anything and has seen that play out in his life. So part of it is just your mind. Part of it is commitment. Part of it is that beautiful commitment to yourself to show up. Honestly, the point is, and why it's important to still show up anyway, the point is to not break this habit of excellence that you should be practicing on a daily basis. The point is that we have and will have days and even longer stretches of time when we have resistance and obstacles in the way of delivering excellence. But the longer you practice excellence on a day-to-day basis, the more you show up every day in your life, in your regular life, in your regular days, on a regular Tuesday with high standards, the easier it will be to do it when the winds shift against you. And the resistance of that might even be a motivating drive instead of an excuse to be pushed off course. Excellence is just a habit practiced over and over again. A practice we get a chance to hone on a daily basis. And if there's one thing that's certain, it's that we will encounter obstacles. We will have illnesses, derailments, tragedies that induce depression, mental anguish, and many more things that get in the way. You can count on that as a part of life's experiences. So it's important to have a strategy and to use every day as a way to solidify those habits of excellence. So when those days inevitably come to test us, we have the movement patterns of excellence as second nature to fall back on. So those days, despite the challenges, or those times, despite the challenges and the difficulty, don't throw off our bottom lines as much as they normally would. Anyway, I have probably talked way more than I intended to. And if you know me, I can talk at length about this topic, and I probably will revisit it on a different day. I just didn't want to miss an episode, and I also didn't want it to be a total waste of time for you. So hopefully I accomplished that. Show up no matter how you feel. I'll see you next week in good health. Love you, family. Cheers.